Hello Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here with John Rush behind the camera, and today we are reviewing the 2014 Scion FRS, which is a joint venture along with the Subaru BRZ, joint venture with Toyota and Subaru. They're both very similar cars, nearly identical minus a few aesthetics, some performance. Some people will say that the Scion's a little bit looser, not quite as there's not quite as much support in the suspension side of things. Once again, it's personal preference. This car that we tested goes for $25,455. I went online just before we did this, priced one out, fully priced, including, you know, a clear bra on the front, wheel locks, a cargo mat in the back, all performance mats, some other different performance things. The top line of this car is just over $30,000, about $32,000, which includes a TRD exhaust, that sort of thing. So really love this car, fun car, especially for my age group. And Dad, you actually talked about this in one of the other reviews, and the other Scion TC review, how Scion is really marketing towards my generation, the younger generation. Social media, you won't see a lot of advertisements run for Scion, and the reason is just because they're not marketing towards that group of people. This is a fun car, really is inexpensive. For $25,000, which is what this car goes for, you can get a lot of car. Now, it does have a 200 horsepower boxer engine in it, made by Subaru. We will show you that a little bit later. Great car, runs well, handles well, it's fun to go around corners, sits low to the ground. Dad, as you mentioned in the short review, this car does handle really well on the track. So we can kind of show you a little bit a little bit more about that in the driving portion, which we'll go do. So join us for that. Come back, we'll show you the inside, and thanks. Okay. All right, fans, we're in the driving portion now, kind of show you how this car handles. It's going to be a little bit different than some of our other SUV reviews where we're, you know, going over some bumps and stuff. I'm going to show you the handling portion of this. Once again, this car is a manual, does handle very well though. I will say that the gear ratios are a little bit off, or not off, just for this elevation, you can almost, you feel like you want to start out in second gear, but doesn't quite have enough power, and so you really find yourself going from first almost to third versus first, second, third in a typical manual. So I'm going to kind of show you how the handling is. This car is a little bit noisier than the BRZ. Like I said, we've driven both cars, and they are both very good cars, but just different. Once again, you also get a little bit more engine noise with the BRZ versus this car. Engine noise does sound great. This car handles well, holds you in your seat very, very tightly. As we said in our short review, this car doesn't have any support. So this is strictly almost a racing, kind of a fun car on the weekend. This car doesn't have a turbo option, which I will say, we're kind of in the video portion of this, and we'll kind of rev it up here for you guys. Subaru, Toyota, if you're listening, which you may be, may not, throw a turbo in, or at least give us the option of adding that in there. That would definitely give us something that you can go add on to the car. There are some aftermarket options that you can add a turbo, increase the horsepower a little bit, something that would really increase the value of this car in my opinion. But really, overall, great car. Had several people in it, didn't have anyone in the back because there's really no back seat to speak of. So this car is mainly a two-seater. They are putting the 4 seats for, you know, all the legal purposes that they do that for. So that being said, we're going to kind of hop out, show you the engine, show you a little bit how Toyota and Subaru have literally come together on this car. Both their names are all over this car. So stay tuned.
All right, we're going to add a little driving portion here just because we have a fun car to drive that's a little bit sportier. Richard's driving and doesn't need to talk, so he's going to drive and kind of show you how well this car works and turns and drives, and it actually does it. It handles well. I know we don't have a real track to show you, so we're kind of in our industrial area that we test drive in, but we'll show you kind of how it corners, and we could take this corner even faster than this, but it works good. Kind of hear the back tires chirp a little bit, and anyways, fun car to drive, so you'll enjoy it. Scion FRS, same car as a Subaru BRZ.
Okay, Drive Radio fans, we're back from our driving portion. Hopefully you enjoyed that. One thing we do want to show you really quick is the literal Toyota and Subaru are right next to each other in this car. It does have the boxer engine, but you can see right there, it has Toyota and Subaru right next to it. Right here on the side, right where the VIN number is the Subaru nameplate, and that goes to show you that Subaru did the chassis, did the performance side of this car. Toyota did the interior, which we'll get to in a second. We'll show you that. On the intake, I don't know if you can get that. It does have the Subaru on that intake, on the oil filter, that sort of thing. So with that being said, we'll kind of run around to the back, but just for all you fans out there, this really is a total joint venture by Subaru and Scion, which is Toyota. So as we go to the back, not a ton of trunk space, and you will see it does have a cargo, I guess not cargo mat, but cargo storage. Not a lot of storage, but enough to put some backpacks, maybe a carry-on or two in there. Right here, you'll notice this is not covered with anything. This is an add-on, and that one of the pricing options that you can do. I'm not sure the exact price, but you can add a covering here. And the BRZ, that does come standard. So that is one difference between the BRZ and the FRS, is you get a lot more standard options than you do on the BRZ than you do on the FRS. So that being said, let's jump to the inside and we'll finish up the review. All right, Drive Radio fans, we're here on the interior of the 2014 Scion FRS, and I'm going to point out a few features that are going to be a little bit different on this car than the BRZ. This car does come in all cloth. There's not a leather option on it, whereas there is on a BRZ. Some of the interior is a little bit different. On the BRZ, the seat belts are going to be a silver color, whitish color, lighter. Just kind of gives the car a little bit different of an accent. But at the same time, on the BRZ, this little carbon fiber, looking insert for the dash isn't going to be there. It's just going to be a flat black piece of plastic, essentially. As we mentioned before, the Subaru audio will be in here, whereas this is the Scion audio. Really, it's kind of personal preference. I would recommend playing around with it before you actually purchase the car. One thing also, if you can see, is on the BRZ, the RPM limiter or in the RPM indicator will be different on the BRZ. It'll be a black versus a white that's on the Scion. Some of the stitching around the steering wheel is also a little bit different. Again, if you want to see that, check them out for yourself. I can't give you all the differences in this short video, but if you are able to get into one of these cars, which we also highly recommend all the time, before you purchase any vehicle, make sure you test drive it, find out if you like it, read the reviews, watch us or watch someone else, make sure that car is the car for you. There are some other options real quick right here. One thing we did kind of have a complaint was there's really no armrest for your arms. So right here, I'm kind of putting it down here. That is an add-on. I think it's like $100 or something, but it is something you have to pay to add on to this car. So not a major thing. As you can see though, this car is a manual. It's available in an automatic with the paddle shifters, so you get that. The automatic, we did not drive that obviously, but I've read several reviews. Did drive the BRZ with the automatic, and it does work very well. This car does have some sport modes. You can turn the traction control off. I will say in this car, I did take it around some tight corners, and you will hear the wheels kind of turn and screech because this car is a little bit looser, like we talked about in the other reviews. But that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this review. Catch all of our other reviews on our channel, which if you're watching this video, just click on our name. It's Drive Radio, no spaces. Also, listen to us every morning, 10 to 1 Mountain Time on Drive Radio 560 The Source. You can go to the TuneIn app, download that, or go to 560thesource.com. And also catch our print reviews of each car on drive-radio.com. Again, Richard Russ of Drive Radio. Thanks.